for CAB and AYA. CAB organizing Asian communities and AYA is Asian Youth in Action.
They protest against police brutality. We lead workshops.
We're youth leaders at the point, so we help facilitate. We do subway skits so people can know their rights on the subway. I get it done in Jackson Heights. Where do you get yours done?
Okay,
are you sure?
You definitely do your eyebrows. They're too even.
We work at Apex for Youth. Apex is a non-profit organization that seeks to help underserved Asian and Asian American students in New York City. Most of the time they don't have the resources that other students have, and usually their parents don't speak English or they don't know much about the American educational system. Try to offer some of these resources so we pair them up with a mentor.
So these mentors are kind of like their big brothers or big sisters. They're a role model, kind of show them the loops in life.
We do a lot of event planning, like we were very involved in planning the annual gala and closing day. We're the best team.
We intern at the Museum of Chinese America, and we're education interns. We help plan events. We plan family day events, and we also help and volunteer during those days. I learned how to use Photoshop while I was at Boca. Yeah. We get along really well.
Why is it touching the green? It doesn't complement the green. What are you doing?
No,
it goes to the green. It's supposed to be 2 centimeters up. Oh my gosh.
Intern for CACF, which stands for Coalition for Asian Children and Families. The first and only pan-Asian organization, and it advocates for the needs of Asian American children and families. I send out a lot of professional emails, and I also help with the recruitment of ASAP. And I interviewed 2 people for the ASAP program.
So we both do things like data entry, and I recruited a lot of Korean American organizations for their ASAP programs.
ASAP is a program for youth where they come together and they work on a campaign. For the past years, they've been trying to get better and more guidance counselors into schools, and they're trying to help Asian Americans be college and career ready.
Yes, we're basically 2 peas in a pod.
No!
We basically shared an embryo.
Our project is about how media affects Asian American teenagers and how that affects their self-confidence and body image.
We all decided that body image and self-confidence are really important, and then we decided to look into the main cause of self-esteem issues, and we decided that was the media.
How Asians are portrayed in Western media, how that influences our life.
We want to bring forward to others about how Asians should be represented media.
It's about how Asians get cast into really stereotypical roles.
Basically, we try to address the disparities between Asians in the media and in reality. When teens watch the stars in the media, how that affects their body image and self-confidence.
The purpose of the project is to increase self-esteem.
Tell Asian Americans, this is not how you need to look like.
Even though you're living in a Western country, it's okay to be yourself.
And it's okay to be different from what you see on the screen.
Also Asian pride.
I am the head researcher.
I am in charge of online outreach, which pertains to updating the Facebook, inviting other people to come, and contacting other organizations.
I'm on the public relations team. I post pictures of people on Facebook.
I work with Belinda, and we put together clips that were interviews that were conducted.
I tried to help Elizabeth with the flowers, but then I burned my finger and then I gave up. I'm in charge of putting the video together, so after we do these interviews, I'm gonna have to go home and cut up.
I'm the person who's making the final agenda for our events and everything, and I help come up with the activities and put everything together.
So I, along with Uma, create the final agenda, and I also help Elizabeth Yim as a part of the research team.
I guess you could call it a secretary. I just handle internal affairs. I take minutes, help with communication, scheduling, calendar updates.
I think the biggest challenge was like coming up with the idea and also like staying on topic every time we have our meetings.
I guess like communicating, trying to get followers and likes.
I didn't know how to like create agendas.
Analyzing the results for our surveys because we had some surprising and unexpected answers.
Every time we tried to get an interview, they would tell us no because everyone refuses to be videotaped. Sometimes we have to pay. One time we chased after this one kid.
Wait, come back.
When I think of Asian movies, I think of a nerdy guy.
Asians are smart, Asians are good at math, Asians can't drive.
Like, really quiet, really good at math.
Can't drive.
Who scores the highest on the test?
Asian chicks. Middle-class Asian girls who watch less than hour of television and can't drive, but they can take the shit out of the SAT.
Can't speak up for themselves.
Shy, quiet.
Quiet, shy.
Hello, my name is Elena Kurama. I was born with gills like fish.
Like, good at everything. Usually the guy with the computer.
Scientist, nerd.
I'm a scientist! You're a scientist!
American, Steve Harvey.
Nina Dobrev.
Anybody, right? Michael Jordan.
George Clooney.
Alright, Britney Spears. I don't really see a lot of Asian people on the media.
I don't know.
I don't know any Asian models.
I don't know a lot.
Asian celebrities? I don't get anything. Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan.
Asian celebrity Jackie Chan. Psy, the guy from Hangover.
Harold Shum Jr. Is that his name? It's like Harry. Harry Shum Jr. That guy from Glee. He's not cute.
There's somebody, I can't remember. I mean, there's Ann Lee, director. There's Jay Park. Definitely, I agree.
Yeah, definitely.
I guess it does, yeah.
Sure, yeah. I definitely feel that.
Because everybody wants to look good.
These white people are so freaking handsome.
Want to look skinny, nice hair. I guess just basically because it's like the Hollywood celebrities and the way that they dress or the way that they look with their body. And then they change my perspective on the way that I should wear or the way that I should look.
Like makeup-wise or like how I did my hair.
To look good, like
Facial structure.
Kind of like a nice height, like really kind of slim, but like not too slim, and like pretty face and like nice hair.
Makes us want to have have like attributes that like are like extremely impossible sometimes, and like feel like it's through surgery and stuff like that, which causes us to think that it is obtainable.
Yeah, I used to wear a lot of like eye makeup and stuff to make my eyes look bigger.
They have defined jaw, and you know, they have big eyes.
You see on any social media like a really pretty girl, and like she'll be like a different race or the same race as you, and you would like kind of want to be like that, but you realize you can't depending on how you already look.
I feel like when we look at like models and like athletes, even though we think it's through working out and like health, most of it is through like Botox and like surgery and stuff like that. So
yeah, so I know I'm Korean, and so I know a lot of Koreans feel like they want to look westernized, they want the bigger eyes, the greater skin.
Like Asian American women, especially in media, are always like very pale and slender, and like smooth skin and like big eyes and double eyelids, and like I don't fit into that norm. So it was interesting growing up and like not seeing people with like my body and like my features reflected in media, even within like Asian American images. So that's always been very depressing.
Not at all. There are barely any, except Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan's the only one.
No, I don't think so. Not in America.
I guess not really. I don't see much of them.
Hell no.
There are not many Asians in media in general.
They have very limited opportunities to be on the media.
I like YouTube. YouTube has changed the way we see more Asians in the media now.
They're Asian. There's this new drama coming out.
Fresh off the boat.
Yeah, Fresh Off the Boat. That's like the first one I've ever heard of.
Inaccurate portrayals of Asians in U.S. media can harm the ways in which Asians see themselves. By gathering statistics, we can see just how much of these portrayals in mainstream media have already affected the perspectives of people.
Just to start, we interviewed many people, and 85% of all those surveyed could not name more than 6 Asian celebrities. As in addition to the statistic, 60% of all those surveyed found it difficult to name up to 3 Asian celebrities. We can definitely change this by encouraging people from the Asian community, no matter how young or how old, to get into the business. People in this world, especially teenagers, have the idea that whatever's trending on the internet or whatever's on TV is what they have to follow in order to fit in. We also found out that 93% of the Asian Americans we surveyed that had difficulties naming Asian in media found Western features far more attractive, meaning larger eyes, taller noses, and longer legs. Extending our research further, we asked a group of Asian American females, and 60% of asked did not say they were confident in their physical features. And my personal message to you girls is 60% because there won't be another copy of you in the world. Ever. Last but not least, as a fun experiment, we asked for survey takers to name 1 Asian celebrities off the top of their heads. And most of the answers were indeed Jackie Chan. 3 things to take from this video is to keep your head up. Don't let anyone tell you what you can and can't do. And lastly, just be yourself. Be proud of who you are.
Hey! I'm Hibong Kim.
And I'm Elizabeth Yim.
On June 3rd at 4:23 p.m., we embarked to transmit our perfection onto the world with our Facebook page.
Well, he did. The rest of the interns tried to raise awareness on the misrepresentation of Asian Americans in media and document how that affected self-confidence among Asian American teens.
Well, that too.
The misrepresentation team interviewed people to document perspectives on Asian misrepresentation in media. Drawing inspiration from Honey, we decided to take a meaningful quote from their responses to serve as the caption. I would like to thank my fellow interns Mindy Tao and Wilson Wong for updating our Facebook page daily.
Our logo went through many revisions before we decided that the fortune cookie was our best bet.
Although fortune cookies typically come with your Chinese food, it's actually not part of Chinese culture. In fact, fortune cookies originated from California, just like Asian Americans. Fortune cookies are misrepresented.
Which is why you will later receive fortune cookies. Inside each one is an interesting statistic from our findings.
The roses given to you earlier are made by our very own Elizabeth Yim. After burning her fingers and toes, we had over 100 complimentary roses to give you today.
Hey Elizabeth, why do you have a band-aid on your face?
You can't talk about it, they'll hurt me.
I am Asian and I'm proud. Just because I see something doesn't mean I have to be that way. I am who I am and I am thankful for that.
I want you to have good self-esteem.
Don't let media change you because your imperfections are not as evident as you think they are. You are beautiful no matter what.
You should be confident in yourself and don't let media tell you who you should be.
Bye guys!
Say goodnight everybody!
Good night? It's like 4 o'clock.
No, and to 6.
But
just say